On December 26, 1893, in the village of Shaoshan, a boy was born into a world of crumbling empires and desperate poverty. His name was Mao Zedong. Though born to a relatively prosperous peasant family, Mao's early life was defined by conflict, mostly with his strict, disciplinarian father. While his father wanted a bookkeeper, Mao wanted a revolution. He devoured classic Chinese novels like Water Margin, tales of rebels fighting against corrupt officials. At 17, he left home, arriving in the city of Changsha just as the 2,000-year-old Qing dynasty was collapsing. In the chaos of the new republic, Mao found his calling, not in the classroom, but in the library. In 1921, he became one of the 13 founding members of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. But while his peers looked to city factory workers for revolution, Mao looked to the fields. He saw a sleeping giant, the Chinese peasant. By the late 1920s, the alliance between the communists and the nationalists, Kuomintang, KMT, shattered. The nationalists, led by Chiang Kai-shek, launched a white terror, purging communists by the thousands. This led to the most legendary and mythologized event in CCP history, the Long March. In 1934, surrounded and facing annihilation, Mao led 100,000 soldiers and followers on a 6,000-mile retreat across some of the world's most brutal terrain. They climbed snow-capped mountains and crossed lethal marshes. A year later, only 7,000 remained. But those 7,000 were the old guard, and Mao was now their undisputed leader. During the subsequent Japanese invasion in World War II, Mao's forces perfected guerrilla warfare while the nationalists bore the brunt of the conventional fighting. By 1949, the tide had turned. As chairman of the new People's Republic, Mao's first years saw rapid successes. Land was redistributed to peasants, and women were given legal equality. But Mao was impatient. He wanted China to overtake the West in a single generation. In 1958, he launched the Great Leap Forward. The plan? Turn every farm into a commune and every backyard into a steel furnace. It was a catastrophic failure. Resources were diverted from food to useless pig iron. Local officials, terrified of Mao, lied about harvest numbers while the grain bins sat empty. The result was the Great Chinese Famine, a tragedy that claimed between 30 and 45 million lives. Sidelined by the party after the leap's failure, Mao feared China was losing its revolutionary spirit. In 1966, he struck back. He called on the youth, the Red Guards, to bombard the headquarters. This was the Cultural Revolution. Schools closed. Teachers, intellectuals, and even high-ranking officials were publicly humiliated or killed. The four olds, old customs, culture, habits, and ideas were to be destroyed. For a decade, China was paralyzed by a cult of personality. Mao wasn't just a leader, he was a deity. His Little Red Book became the only authorized guide for life. When Mao died in 1976, he left behind a country that was unified and literate, but also traumatized and impoverished. Today, the CCP officially views him as 70% good, 30% bad. He is the man who ended a century of foreign humiliation, yet he presided over some of the greatest man-made disasters in history. You cannot understand the modern superpower of China without understanding the peasant's son from Shaoshan. What do you think? Was Mao a visionary who paved the way for China's rise, or a tyrant who held it back? Let us know in the comments.